The number 3 seeded Denver Nuggets are set to take on the 6 seeded Utah Jazz in the first round of the Western Conference playoffs. Here's a quick preview with yours truly, Mr. Taliaferro. So I believe this series goes 6 games. I'll tell you why. First off, I like this Utah Jazz team. I really liked them at points throughout the season. They got it going. Donovan Mitchell, when he was running point, when Mike Conley was down with injury, this team really got it going. Utah, when they have their home arena, obviously they're very tough to beat. We're not going to play any games in Salt Lake City. We're in Orlando in a bubble. So you take out the element of Utah having home games. For those who don't know, Mike Conley left the bubble a couple days ago for the birth of his child. Congratulations to him and his lady on that. Honestly, I don't think that is as big a blow to Utah as them not having Bojan Bogdanovic, who opted to not make the trip to the bubble in Orlando. I like when Donovan Mitchell is on the basketball, but when I look at that Denver Nuggets team, I just think 1-9, 1-10, they got more hoopers. I'm not sure how deep Mike Malone's going to go with this team. I don't know the status of Will Barton or Gary Harris. They have been unavailable thus far. But when you got a guy like Jamal Murray who was able to get his rhythm, he came and played in the bubble in Orlando the last game or so. Michael Porter has been playing out of his mind. The good thing about Gary Harris and Will Barton being down is Michael Porter Jr. has arrived. This dude is ready to go. I love his game. I think he's a future all-star in this league. Nikola Jokic, the big fella in the middle, is always going to pass the ball at an elite level. Has been up and down in the playoffs. I remember a couple of bad games against the Portland Trail Blazers last year and that 7-game series in the first round. We'll see what Jokic has learned and how much his game has developed. Obviously, he's much thinner nowadays. The reason why I give Utah 2 games in this series, despite being down a couple of their key guys, is because I respect Coach Snyder. And more importantly, I believe when you have an all-star perimeter guy in Donovan Mitchell, I'll always roll with him over an all-star big. That is me personally. I believe the NBA, especially with the 3-point shot emerging, I know Jokic can shoot it from there occasionally as well, but I believe the NBA is about having the best perimeter guy on the floor, and I'll take the best perimeter guy on the floor in 2020 over the best big on the court any day. That is where I'm at, and I think because of that would allow the Utah Jazz. I mean, the two teams just played each other a couple weeks ago in the bubble. It was 134-132. If I'm assuming Utah to be competitive, Rudy Gobert, obviously I don't know what's going to happen with him and Donovan Mitchell this summer. It seems like they've been able to get on the same page. Remember what happened as the NBA was shut down due to COVID back in March. Rudy Gobert playing around with the virus, all that stuff. It seems like they've been able to rectify whatever they had going on enough to at least get to this point. We'll see if that chemistry is still there. I got respect for Rudy's game and what he brings to the court. I like Clarkson a lot. Jordan Clarkson has really found a niche there in Utah. I'm going to be respectful to the Jazz despite not having Salt Lake City. I'm going to give them 2 games against Denver, but I really like the Denver Nuggets in the future, man. Here's the kicker for the Nuggets for me. One day, Nikola Jokic will not be the best Denver Nugget. The day that we look at that Denver Nuggets team and we flat-foot, clear as cut can say Michael Porter Jr. is the best Denver Nugget, to me, that is the day that the Nuggets are a serious contender out west. Not a day before, but when, not Nikola Jokic, but when Michael Porter, the young super talented guy out of Mizzou, when he is the best player on the Denver Nuggets team, that's when they'll be ready to make a serious attempt at a championship. But they're still good enough to get past Utah. 6 games, first round. Most important guy on the court, Michael Porter Jr.